Hello, everyone. Hi, this is Sarah from Blue. Please let me know if you can hear. And then Manny is also here joining us in this live. Hello, everyone.
Everybody can hear us all right?
Cool. Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Cool. Would be good to know where
Yep.
everybody's from as well, right?
Yep.
Like which country you guys are dialing in from.
I can be the first here. I'm from Cambodia right now. It's 10 p.m.
Cool. And I'm dialing in from Medellin, from Colombia, and it's 10 a.m. in the morning, so not too bad a time for me.
How about everyone else? There's a chat box at the left corner, the right corner, sorry.
Okay, Oliver from France, hello. Team Shu, West Yorkshire, UK. Okay, nice.
That's cool. Thank you everyone for joining the webinars. Whoa, Canada, it's cool.
Cool, Mexico, US, Canada, nice.
Used to live in Canada. I miss Canada.
Cool, I see more people are joining, so we'll wait a couple of minutes just to make sure if anybody's joining a little late, and then we'll get started.
I'm based in Cambodia right now, so in Phnom Penh.
Cool, and I'm in
Southeast Asia, yeah.
Cool, and I'm in Medellin in Colombia right now. I guess I have a question. How long has everybody been using Blue for? Like, is it a couple of months or is it like a year plus? Because I think most of our users are relatively new to the platform, like mostly 2021. I'd say probably 90%. But it'd be interesting to know if anybody's been a long-term Blue user or it's just really last from last year. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Okay, Francois, 1 year. Okay, yeah. So you're a veteran of the platform. Yep, this will be available. We'll be recording this, and then you'll be able to play it back as well. Oh well, Don since day one. Hey Don.
Day one. Cool.
Cool. I think. So do you want to wait a few more minutes, or we'll get started?
Maybe we can wait just a little bit, just in case that just someone
Cool.
can join in a bit. Yeah. Yeah. So during the demo that we'll be showing, we questions we can answer it after the demo. And should we start at around
Yeah, we'll give
in 2
a
minutes?
couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of minutes. Yeah. Yeah, and just a heads up, we'll be running these weekly on different use cases, and then also I think also on eventually on also different features and as well specifically. Jerry, to mute your microphone, you can just hit the M key, or there's a microphone icon towards the bottom of the middle of the screen. Yeah, so if you guys have any specific either features that you want us to cover in the next webinar or specific kind of use cases, you can also let us know in the comments. So this week is going to be on Sales CRM, and then Sarah, correct me if I'm wrong, next week we're going to be looking at how to use it for marketing, right?
Yep, that's correct.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
So next will be on like creating a marketing calendar on Blue and running campaigns, setting up different campaigns. Yeah.
But actually, Jerry, I don't think you need to mute your microphone because I think only Sarah and I can speak right now, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Should we? I think there's 8 past, so I think we can probably get started.
Yep. Okay.
Cool. All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining. Much appreciated. I know it's time is valuable, so I appreciate taking the hour out of your working week. So yeah, today we want to cover how to use Blue as a sales CRM. But taking a step back before we dig into those details, I think I'd like to say why have a sales CRM and why track your sales. And I think there's a really important points that I want to make here. Overall in Blue, just based on some of the customer statistics, I think we're tracking around $100 million in sales through the platform on how people are using it, and of companies of really different sizes. Some that are tracking some millions in sales, some that are much smaller. But I think the key thing that they have in common is that they want to improve their sales process and they want to close more deals, right? And they want to close more of a right type of deals, right? Getting and so on. I think probably a lot of you are in the kind of professional service area. So you might be running marketing firms or law firms or anything like that, right? Or potentially digital agencies or design companies. Now, what's common here is that you're going to get a lot of you kind of requests for proposals, or you might be doing marketing and you get leads coming in, and you need a kind of standardized way to kind of process these leads from initial contact all the way to turning them into that first project or that first engagement, and then also nurturing them for future sales, right? So you can grow the kind of lifetime value of your customer, right? And I know this from personal experience. I've had some relationships with customers that have started with small deals, maybe, a couple of $1,000s, and then they've blossomed into quite large relationships that, have been well into the six figures over the course of a few years, right? So I think that's the key thing that's important. Additionally, if you start to structure a good process, it means that you can essentially spend less brain power or less time on sales, because you've got, and at a glance see exactly where all the different leads are in your sales process and at what stage they're at. So that kind of reduces stress. It reduces sort of the cognitive overhead of managing sales. And also, if you're a business leader, it means that at some point you can also step back from sales a little bit and delegate that to one of your team members, because you've set up the process, and you know how it's working, and then somebody can quite easily come in and kind of assist you with that and eventually take that over. That's why it's important to have a sales CRM, right? And also it gives you a lot of kind of historical data, right? Because in Blue, you can also export all this data as well and then run your analytics on it. But also you can just go into the project and you can go on the Files tab and see all your historical kind of proposals and things that you've sent out, all the way since the beginning. And that's great, because sometimes you might get very similar projects and you're like, oh, yeah, I need to go back and see that previous proposal from that customer because it's very similar, and I want to see how I structured that. So then you can kind of clone it, or you can base your new proposal based on that one. Yeah, and then specifically, so that's why you need a sales CRM. And then why use Blue as a sales CRM? These, all the other thousands of systems. And I think the key thing here is that if you're already using Blue, to manage your projects or to look at your hiring or any other things, it makes sense to use Blue as a sales CRM as well, because it means that you've got everything in one platform, right? So you'll have the same kind of notifications within Blue. You can get used to it, and then you don't have this kind of context switching of going, oh, you've got one tool for project management, one tool for hiring, one tool for sales, one tool to track your invoices, etc. Right? You can just have one platform that can manage everything across your entire business, and I think that's really the key advantage. And as well, the other thing, it's very simple to use. It's very flexible, as we'll show today. You can update and change your process at any time. It just takes really a few seconds to add additional steps in the process, and you've got a lot of flexibility with things like custom fields and automations. So essentially, you can begin to reduce the overhead of the work and just make it easy for yourself. So yeah, I think any questions on anything I've said so far? If not, I'll then pass to Sarah, who will kind of show you a little bit on the specifics of how to use Blue as a sales CRM. So yeah, just let me know if any questions. All right, good. Sarah, I think you can go ahead and share your screen and show us how it works. All right.
Okay, cool. Thank you for the introductions. Just gonna go ahead and share my screen. Just opening Blue. Let me share you my screen. Please let me know once you see my screen. I'll also just turn off my camera for this because my internet can be quite slow. I just want the process to go a bit smooth. So I'll just turn off my camera for now. Let me know if you see my screen.
Yeah, I can see that too.
Okay, okay, cool. Okay, so I'm just gonna jump into Blue. So once you're in Blue and you're been invited onto, sorry?
Sarah, on my screen sharing, I only see like the middle bit of your screen. I'm not sure if everybody else is experiencing that as well.
Retry that. Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, can you see the full screen now?
No, I'm still seeing just the middle part of your screen. I'm not sure why.
Oh, hold on, that's strange.
Maybe try to disconnect and reconnect totally from the stream. Yeah. All right.
Okay. Hold on. Wait. if I stop the screen, let me know if you see it now. Let me try that again.
Yeah, I think now it's working. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Cool. Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah, I don't want to end the stream just in case that everything just ended, because we're also
Okay,
quite
got
new
it.
to this
Yeah.
platform. Yeah.
Yeah, it's our first one, so great. Okay, I
Yeah.
think now we can see your whole screen. So
Okay, cool. That's perfect. Okay, so let's jump on to if you're a company's owner or if you've been invited into a company's, you'll see this would be your homepage. Currently, I have just a few companies because I'm with the customer as well. So sometimes they invited me onto the companies. That's why there's a bunch here. But let's go into Blue. So once you're on Blue, you can see here that there's different folders that I have on the sidebar where I have all the projects. Currently, I have about 17 projects, and these folders are just keeping everything more organized. So what you want to do when you want to track your sales or start your sales CRM project, you want to start with a new project. So with this new project, you either want to start from like a blank project, but I highly recommend to use our template. The Blue default templates are designed for Sales CRM and also different types of templates that you need. But today, let's just jump into the Sales CRM. So when you see like just a few details on what the project would look like and on how to use the template as well. So let's begin on that. I'll just name this one Sales CRM. Just basic as it is. So at this point, you can actually invite your team members in, but you can also skip it first and invite them on later once you finish building your project. So we'll just skip this for now. So once you're in this template, you can see like how to use this template. So this is a guideline on how you can use it. You can create the board, which is what we're seeing right now. This is the board. And this is what we call list at Blue. And also this is the to-do cards. So I'm just gonna go ahead and delete this. See the default template is that we have like prospects, qualified prospect, and all of this list, but you can definitely modify it by go to three dots and rename it however you want, or you can just delete it if you don't think if you don't think it's necessary for your sales CRMs. As you can see, we have already tags default, but you can also remove that. You can delete like this. So this is just process and steps with the template that we currently have. So this is the board view, and then this is also the calendar view. So for example, if you have a deadline or due dates on any of the to-dos that you need to send or any proposal, it will show here. And then the database view, which is quite powerful and quite handy. And once I have the custom field here, I'll show you again on what it will look like. And list view, where you can actually check everything off. And then that view is quite handy if you have like your client's location and you want to go see them or meet them, you can have the address shown here. So let me go back to the board and just give you a few examples. So let's say you're creating your to-do. I'll just name this like company 1 and company 2 and so on. You can create as many to-dos as you want, and then I'll also jump into form later where the to-do will be can be submitted by your client. So let's start with the to-do. So within the to-do, you have like due dates. For example, if you have a proposal that needs to be sent, so you can set a due date. And then you can also assign team members. Once you invited your team members onto the project, you can also assign multiple team members, your sales team, and yourself as well. You can assign anyone, and then also add tags. So for tag, you can have like, for example, priority, that, and also something that's interesting to also add is that their industry or the field that your client's in. So let's have like that, marketing. So you can have like as many tags as you want. So for custom field, you can create custom field through this, and you can manage your field by deleting or changing the name of your custom field. So what would work best for Sales CRM? We would recommend you having like, for example, email just so that you can contact your clients, and then also phone number. This might take a little bit, so just gonna go in and quickly add everything in. Maybe URL, just so that they can enter sharing their website and you can learn a little bit more about your clients. Also, let's add budget as well. So let's say estimated budget. That, and then as any currency that you prefer, let's just use dollar for now. And then also location, just in case. So yeah, so all of this is your custom field and it will apply to every to-do that is in this project. So if you go to here, you can see the same custom field that's been created. So you don't have to create multiple custom field for each of the to-do. It applies to all of the to-dos on the project. Okay, so next, I want to show you as well on what it will look like for the customer and how you can build form with this custom field. Okay, so let's go to form. So this is how you would create form and how you can generate leads from this as well. So let's say contact us. And then with this link, you can actually have them embedded onto your website as well, just so that they can click on the link and they can enter the forms. And then I'll show you that as well. So you can just drag and drop. So let's say like company's name. And then, oh, you can also move it as well. Your email, phone number, URL, you can have it required or not, budget, let's say like your budget, and then also address, if it's required or not, it's up to you. And then you can also change the color to match your branding, drag and drop, or you can enter the color code and you can select, like, for example, this all prospect or all leads. And then also you can assign a team member that you want to look into when you added this form. So like that. So let me show you what it would look like. So this is what you so they can enter their name. So for example, like companies 2, and then the address, and then the budget, let's say this much. And then you can also enter the email, like company, say www.company2.com, and then submit. So go straight to here. So you can see here the notification that says you've been assigned to the to-do because it was assigned to me in the form. So if you go to here, so you can see here it's automatically assigned to me. And then you would see from your clients. So phone number, email, so that you can contact them, and also budget and URL where you can learn a little bit more about your clients. And from here, you can add like a due date to set when you need to send a proposal, and you can add tags as well. So here, you can move it to this list, or you can move it to proposal send, any list that you want, just drag and drop it. And this is where I also want to show you automation. So what we like to do at Blue is that we use automation, for example, when a to-do is. So let's say the company 2 just now already set up a meeting with us, and we schedule for a meeting and all of that. And then let's say unassign someone, so and also remove tags, say priority, like that. And then you can have like an automation summary here when your to-do is moved to meeting, unassign Seraphin Chan, and remove tags, priority, and create that automation. So you can turn this on and off as well. Another thing that would be handy is that when a to-do is moved to another list, let's say close, like that, and it mark it as complete. So this actually saves us a lot of time at Blue, and from what we know, it actually saves us like almost an hour a week just having everything automated. So like that. So let me just show you what happened when I use automation for when a to-do is moved to meeting. It's automatically remove the tags as well. And then if I move this to this, it marks it as complete. So that is how automation would work. And you can have as many automation as you want, and however you want to prefer, like if the due dates changes, or if the to-do is marked as incomplete, it assigns someone else again, or having someone to review the to-do. So this can actually save you a lot of time just to automate everything on your workflow. Another thing is that, so this is look quite empty because it's a new project, but once it's in your project, multiple lists and multiple to-dos, so it could be like 500 or 600 to-dos here, and you just want to look for a very specific to-do. What we can do is with filter is that you can filter it out your team members, what to do are they working on, so you can filter it out their name or by due date. So let's say like this, filtered, and you can see just that due date, and then also by tags as well, so like that. And then you can also filter it by advanced filter search. So for advanced filter search, for example, if you want to look for a very specific client, so let's say I want to look for company 2, and the company 2 is that they have company 2 as their URL. So to look for that, I'll just go to URL, and I'll add a condition. For example, if I don't really remember, I can just say it's maybe, and then I say like company 2, and it will filter everything out and only show that to do with that specific fill in it.
And if I could just come in here briefly. So I think one other really useful thing with the advanced filters is specifically you can look for budgets, right? So if you have a budget custom field, so estimated budget, for instance, you could say, show me all the deals that are less than, you know, X amount of dollars, right? So everything below 5,000, or show me all the deals above 20,000, right? And then essentially you can use that to then filter down for very specific deals that are either quite large or quite small, and so on. So that's definitely a very useful and common use case. If you've got a lot of deals on the go, you can use it to filter by budget or budget range. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so after that, you can also add like another filter search, just so that it's a lot more. So if you play around with advanced filter, you will find it very useful, and that it matches all the custom field that you've entered to, just so it's more organized for you, and then you can see everything in like a much clearer view. So currently right now I'm on the beta version, which is why I can see like everything comments only or activity only. So they just help everything looks a little bit more cleaner on blue as well. And also descriptions, you can enter any descriptions that you want, and as well as checklists on what you need to send to. So for example, let me just add another field here, files. So file is actually quite important. So if you have files like here, you can add like, oh, I need to send in like this invoice or this proposal to this client, so that you can drop your files here as well, so that you'll know it is for that client specifically. And you can have like a checklist, like, oh, have to, what to do is just like send file, set up meeting. So this checklist is also quite handy, and you can also assign it to a team member, and this will also actually show in their My To Do. So it will show up here.
Yeah, so this is this is a new feature that's available now on beta. So we've got My To-Dos and also my checklist items. So yeah, so you've got a nice switch. Okay, Jerry, thanks for your time. We'll also answer your question a little bit later, so you'll see that in the recording as well.
Cool. Okay, so let me go back to the Sales CRM as well. Yeah, so all the files that you've entered or added to this file will goes under the Files tab, so that you can have access to all of your files, all of your documents, any contract that you need to set up. So you can easily access it on here on Blue. It's very easy to use in that you can access it quite easily. Another thing is that you can have like a short discussions with your team members. So for example, if you need someone to look into like a specific company, for example, if I want another team members to help look into like company one, I can just say like, I can copy the link as well of the to do and have it paste on here, and then like the team member and check, so let's say like company one detail, like that, or it can have like a shortened link as well, and then it will to do as well. So this is just the URL within the project, and it will lead me straight to the to do, so that I can have like a quicker discussions with the team members. Or I can use the update features with my team, just so like, for example, if I'm stuck on this client and then I need someone to help me jump into. So discussions and updates are quite handy for emergencies or any quick meetings that you would need to jump in for your team members. So another things would be, let's say that, okay, this client is a win. So client company 2 is a win, and then you want them to be a part of the project and all. You can actually create projects on Blue. And so let's just use like a very general project template, right? So let's say like this, and then use this template, and then let's say company 2, which is the client that you just won just now. And then you can invite your team members in or not yet. And then here is what the general project would look like. So within this, what I want to share with you is that you have your general project here, and then you're working on the project where you're having all of this files, contracts, or list, or anything like that with your team members, but you want another specific one for your client, just so that they can be a part of the project and just keeping that customer relations going a lot more smoother. And then here is where you can actually invite your clients onto the project. And what clients can do is that they can have access to any of the to-dos. So for example, if they have like an ideas for like the website that they want to build, and they can just list their ideas here, where you can add like custom fields. So this is what clients cannot do. So they cannot add new fields, or they cannot add new project. They'll just be a part of the project and just keeping track with you as well, working with you to be within the project. And then you can also assign a member, just so that your clients can see what you're working on as well. What they also cannot do is that they cannot delete anybody's to do, anybody's comment, one's files. So that is what client permission would be. So I highly recommend having your clients on Blue as well, just so that they can be a part of the project. Okay.
About forms, sorry, on the Sales CRM.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
So we just went through forms a little bit earlier on how they can build form, and also they can change the name, modify it as they want. They can add images on here. So when they view the form, clients can enter. So earlier I just showed like how clients enter and how they would see here.
I think one other thing that's worth highlighting as well is that you can actually export your data as well from the Sales CRM, which is quite useful if you want to run some kind of simple analytics on Excel, or you want to import that data into other platforms. Maybe Sarah, you could just show that on the project settings there, that you can export.
Okay, yeah. So this is where you can export everything as a CSV files, and then you can import it to your Excels or spreadsheet. So or on MacBook, I believe it's numbers. So if you click on it, and then this will lead to the numbers. Loads quite a bit.
And what's great about this is that it exports all the custom fields as well. So if you've got things like estimated budgets, you can then you can do summaries on those, or averages, that kind of stuff. And I think a nice trick related to this as well, Sarah, if you go to database view,
Okay.
You can actually enter budgets as an example. So if you can enter a couple of budgets, yeah, maybe. And then if you select multiple cells, yeah, at the bottom you can see that blue actually gives you the average and the count and that kind of stuff. So you can see some statistics of your data as well from the database view. Cool. Got a couple of questions from Terry as well. Can we create our own project templates to choose from? Yes, you can. So we can definitely show that. So imagine that you wanted to make this project a template. So you can go to the project settings and then you can convert to template there. And then you'll see this. So the key things to note is essentially anybody in your company that's a team member can then spin up a new project from it. And then any changes to this project will then be reflected in any new projects that are created from the template. That Made with Love by Blue team will not be there. That's just for us to create official templates. But yeah, so maybe Sarah, if you can hit convert, we can,
Okay, yeah.
we can show Terry out.
Yeah.
Essentially, once you get this, you'll see that there's a new templates area in the sidebar.
Yep. And then you can also find this under your template. So this will be your template instead of the Blues template here. So this is all the default Blues template, and this will be your template that you've created for the company.
Yeah, and then in the sidebar, you'll have all your templates that you've created available there, and then you can always modify them as you need. And then we do put a reminder at the bottom of the screen whenever you're on a template project, just to tell you that, hey, this is a template, so if you make any changes, be aware that they will reflect in any future projects created from this template. Cool. Then the next question, any native integrations between Blue and Zoho? No, so right now we don't have any native integrations from Blue to any other systems. What we do have is the API. So maybe Sarah, you could just jump into that. However, this is relatively technical. So we have this, is essentially you can generate a token and then essentially you've got the secret key here that you can copy. Will only show this once. Then you can confirm that, and then you can open the playground to play around with the API to test queries out. But again, you do need some technical knowledge for this. But it is very powerful, because everything that you can do on the web app or mobile app is available through the API. So we have 100% coverage, and you can do things like query the data from Blue, you can write data to Blue, and you can also subscribe to data in Blue in real time. So essentially, anytime something new happens, we can then stream that to a third-party system. This year, we do want to integrate with Zapier. We want to do that is because then you can then connect to thousands of other tools as well. Sandy, you've got a question about, can you explore to HubSpot? So I imagine you mean, can we export to HubSpot? So yeah, you can do both ways. You can either import data from HubSpot, or you can export the data from Blue to HubSpot. And the way you do that is through exporting the CSV file from Blue and then importing it to HubSpot, and vice versa. You can export your data in HubSpot through, via CSV, and then you can then import that with the import tool in Blue as well. So we can just quickly show that, Sarah, as well for the import. So basically on any project, you can go to the settings.
Let me just create a blank project. So let's say that's import testing.
Yeah.
So I'll just add the project from the companies that I've exported just now, the Sales CRM, and I'll just show you on how importing would work. So it's that. This is the Sales CRM. So from here, you'll need to match all the custom field to the to-do, just so that everything will match and stays in the same place. So this is the title. This would be the list, correct? Tags, And here is where you'll need to create the custom field because this is a brand new project and it doesn't have the custom field from the previous project. So let's say email. And then don't forget to also add this as well. And then phone number.
Because you can see that you can essentially match those.
Cool. So let me try to do this as quickly as possible.
Cool. Yeah. Terry, no, there's no limits to client invitations. So you can invite as many clients as you want to the platform. Our kind of base plan, which is the subscription plan, has got unlimited users of all types, and then some people who are on some kind of older plans, there's some limits to the number of non-client users that you can invite depending on your plan. And are there any limits to client invitations, not users? No, you can have multiple clients in a projects. But then again, normally you wouldn't invite different clients to the same projects because then they can see each other. So normally the best thing to do is to have one project per client and then invite different clients to different projects. That means you've got everything separated, they can't see each other and they won't be aware that that other clients exist, which is exactly how you want to have that set up.
Okay, so once you map out all of your custom field, you can just import and everything all comes up in a second. Yep. So this is only the list that got imported because it's the only one that has the to-do in it. So that's why it's only these two that has. But if you have like multiple to-dos in all of the lists that you want to export, it will show up here as well. So currently it just shows this.
Yeah, and in terms of scale, I think this import tool we've tested it all the way up to like 100,000 items. So it's quite scalable. Obviously, it takes a little while longer than what we've shown today with 100,000 items. But yeah, you can import a lot. So even if you're importing hundreds or potentially a few thousand to-dos, you'll find that pretty straightforward and pretty quick as well to do. Cool. I've got a question from Caesar. Will you be integrating with Pabbly? We don't have hard plans to do that, although that's been quite requested as well. Because I know that a lot of users who came from our kind of old AppSumo deal also use Pabbly because I believe they were on AppSumo as well for a while. But yeah, we don't have hard plans for that yet. Can you automate the import/export process? Technically, yes. If you use the API, you could probably do something along those lines. But the actual import process and export process that we've shown you today is not automatic. That said, we do. I've had quite a few requests to be able to automatically back up the project data to kind of third-party storage like Google Drive or AWS, that kind of stuff. So that's probably something that we'll look to tackle in the future, that you can set kind of recurring backup schedules from Blue to kind of a third-party systems as well.
Okay, so yeah, so this is would be your template, and the forms that you created will be also on the template as well. And if you need to reuse this template for later, you can easily find it again on the new project and then under your templates. So this will be your company's name and this will be the Blue default template. And you can also find the Sales CRM template from earlier in the Blue default template. Yeah, and you can also remove the template if you want, if you don't think that this would work. You can also remove it from template. Or another thing would be like copy project. So you can choose what to be copied across. This is like duplicating the project just so that you don't have to create multiple things again and again. This will be quite helpful for you to say like if you want to copy the same structure of the Sales CRM and you just want it to be on a new one, and you can definitely do that as well. So any other questions? Oh yeah, another thing would be like if you're finished with this client and you think that you're ready, like the company too that we went through earlier, you can also archive it, and you see here like nobody can modify the data. Everyone in the project can still see, and project owner can unarchive this. So you can just archive it and just having your project a little bit more cleaner. So this is all the archive project.
Cool. And I think one question that we also often get about Sales CRM is if you've got multiple products or multiple services, normally the question arises, should you have different projects for each product line or service line, or should it all be in one? My recommendation is that you just keep one project for Sales CRM, and then you use tags to tag each kind of lead by the services that they're looking to buy from you, or the products that they're looking to buy from you. The reason for that is that it gives you a much better kind of holistic view of how busy you're likely to get. And then you can always use the tag filters to reduce by a specific product line or service line as well. Cool. Sandy has a question about, can you tell us what you have on the roadmap and what additional features outside of what you have already mentioned? Yeah, sure thing. So in terms of the roadmap at the moment, so we've got quite a few things that we want to launch. Some of the main ones that's been asked as well repeatedly is the kind of Gantt chart view. So this is something that is we want to achieve this year. More kind of close to home, and something that's going to be happening much sooner is the file folders. So essentially right now, if you go into the files area, we just have a kind of flat view. So there's no way to create folders. Everything is just shown in one place. But in the near future, you'll be able to essentially organize this by folders. So that's quite a major thing. The other thing as well that we already that we're doing is the ability to copy forms between projects as well. So this is something that's missing. And also when you copy a project as well, you'll see that the forms is actually is not available. So Sarah, if you go to the copy project, you'll see that is currently coming soon. So essentially we'll include that as well. And also we are on beta, we've already launched some significant speed improvements for Blue. And also we have a new authentication system as well. So essentially we're moving away from kind of cookie-based authentication to sessions. And this allows some pretty cool things. The main one being that you'll be able to embed forms directly into your website. And also that you will be able to allow different types of logins, including password and so on. Cool. Another question from Sandy. I'm used to having teams and projects. Yeah, so we do have project folders if you want to organize projects together. This is on an individual basis. So if you create a folder, this is just for you only. It doesn't reflect on other people's accounts for that. Generally speaking, you can basically add each individual team member to are required as well. Yeah, and Sylvia has got a question about, is there any plan to include chat option in Blue? No, we don't have a plan for this. Discussions is getting a bit of an upgrade this year as well. So we're going to have more of kind of an email-like interface where you can see all the list of discussions on the left side and then a panel on the right to where the discussions are. It's not going to be quite like a chat interface, but it's kind of getting a little closer to that. But the main reason we're not going to be doing chat in the short term in Blue, I think, just because there's a lot of very, very good solutions out there for chat. You've got Telegram, which is actually what we use internally for our company. You've got Slack, you've got kind of Microsoft Teams, you've got Discord, etc. So I feel that these chat apps are very, very mature and they do a great job. And I don't think necessarily we would add much more to that side of things if we were to build our own chat from scratch. And as well, we're a relatively small team, so we need to kind of be careful about which battles we pick and choose, right? So hence that's something that we're not prioritizing. Yeah. Cool. So I think we've got kind of 9 minutes left today on the schedule. I think overall on Sales CRM, we've covered pretty much all the key features and functions and how that kind of works. So if anybody's got any kind of final questions on that, then we're more than happy to answer that. Oh, Goran's got a question. Is it Integromat coming after Zapier? So I believe that's another kind of aggregator of integrations. We haven't looked into that yet. And but yes, email to task workflow, that's definitely something that we do want to do. So the ability to essentially each list in each project will have its own unique email that then you can forward emails into. And as long as the email that's forwarding in is already an email of the user within Blue, then you'll be able to then create the task from there. So yeah. Cool. Yes, this presentation will be available to download. Sure. So we will then place this. We'll probably email the link as well to this next week when we email for the new webinar, and then we'll also have a page on our website where it will be historical webinars will be available to download as well. So then you can share this with your teams for onboarding purposes as well. And I think while we're on that topic, so we'll basically be doing, I think at the same time this week, we'll be doing the next webinar, which is going to be on how to run your kind of marketing workflows on Blue. So mostly on whether it's posting on social media or managing blogs and other kind of initiatives. And also I do want to encourage you guys, we do have also free onboarding available as well, so that you can see you can find the link to that on the footer of our website. So you can always book a call with us, free kind of 30-minute call, wherever it's either for a demo or to ask questions. And also we have our community available at ask.blue.io, which I know quite a few of you are already on there. And that's where we showcase new features, where we answer questions from the community. And also we post up previews of upcoming features as well. So maybe Sarah, you could just navigate to that briefly on ask.blue.io so we can show everybody on the call what that is. Yeah, okay. So I would definitely encourage you guys to sign up, because you can, you get a bit of a behind the scenes look at what's happening in Blue. And then we've got also a feature ideas area where you can you can request new features and we can discuss them with you, because that's really at the heart of how we build Blue is by engaging with our users, with our customers, and understanding their needs, right? So you can see that we've got a lot of kind of announcements as well, and taking feedback from there.
And also just a few tips and tricks and bug reports. Sometimes our user would actually come in and have their bug reports here as well. And if other user have the same experience, so that it can help us look into it more. And also, yeah, like Manny mentioned, feature ideas and different announcements. Like here, we recently just announced a few things. So the most exciting one is definitely the file folders. So this is just what it would look like. So if you join actually see any feedback, you can actually give feedbacks and have a quick preview on it. And also link to our guide videos and the roadmap as well, just to see what's coming soon. Yeah, so any final questions?
Siva, I see that you've got your hand raised. Sorry, I didn't spot that earlier. Did you want to ask a question? We can. Yeah, you can click on that button, Sarah. Let's see what happens. Sorry, this is our new platform for us as well.
It's very new for us.
Cool. Rob has asked also a question, will Blue be adding password option for forms? We haven't thought about that too much, but I understand that maybe there could be some interesting use cases for that. So essentially you want to limit who is accessing the form, right? I think that's something that we could definitely, we'll add to a backlog, because I can imagine that would be very, very useful for certain use cases. So thanks for that, Rob. I think it's not too difficult to implement on our side. And another quick question from Sandy. So when you add people, you can only add them to one project at a time, correct? Yeah, that is correct. I think potentially in the future we might look to the ability to sort of bulk invite. Yeah, exactly. So you can invite someone to your organization and then just check which projects you want to invite them to. So then you can kind of bulk add them to a whole bunch of projects at a time.
Oh, it says we're cut off. Yes, so you can add people one at the same time, not at the same time, sorry. So you definitely have to add people one by one to different projects. But in the future, what that we want to look into like a global ad or like a bulk ad to the companies.
Terry is also asking about email to task workflow. How about email to new project? So you're saying essentially sending an email to Blue to then create a brand new project, right? I haven't heard of this request before. As such, I know that email to new task or new to do is definitely something that a lot of people need and require. Yeah, I think creating. I'm not sure how email to new project would. So essentially, what you get a new client request something, then you want to spin up a new project for it. Yeah, interesting. I haven't considered that before at all, but for sure, I think we can. It'd be great to then discuss that with you further as well to understand how useful that would be, and then how useful that would be also to a kind of a broader user base as well. So if possible, Terry, if you can shoot us an email with that at help.blue.io, we can definitely then have a kind of one-to-one discussion with you on that.
Okay, so we're on the last minute. I'll just stop sharing my screen, and if there's anything, you can definitely email us and we'll answer through that. And we also have the webinars coming next week. If you would like to join, we'll also send a link invitation to that as well. This will be recorded, and you can watch this for later if you want to look more in depth into Sales CRM. And again, you can also book a time with us. The quick demos, it's always on our website. And yeah, thank you so much for your time. Thank you for joining in our very first ever webinars.
Yeah, cool. I think we're getting the hang of the technical aspects as well. So at least now we know on this side. So hopefully we'll keep getting better and better each week on this as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, again, thanks for joining, and have a productive rest of your week. All right. If any final questions, feel free to shoot them. We can spend another minute or two as well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and again, the next week will be on marketing. And if you have a marketing team, you can also invite all your team members onto this webinar just so that they can keep up with Blue. And it's also sort of like an onboarding process for you as well with your team. So highly recommend it.
Cool.
Thank you, Don.
Cool. All right. So I think yes, we'll send the recording via the email, and we'll also post it on the next email announcing the next webinar, and then we'll also put it available on our website as well. So you'll see a new page on our website, probably /webinars, where there'll be all the there'll be the first webinar to download, and then also all the future ones as well. All right. Cool. All right. So I think we'll end it here then. Thank you, everybody, again, and have a great week.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.